Time in Central Europe is now exactly 10 o'clock. It's Mike Ross, RNI News. The United States, the United Nations Secretary General, Dr. Waldheim, has said in New York that there's a big chance that Egypt and Israel will agree on military disengagement within the next few weeks, where the second stage of the Geneva peace talks would take much longer. Britain and the rail dispute. The leaders of the train drivers' union, after an all-day meeting in London, have decided to ease the work to rule. They're telling drivers to drop the policy of non-cooperation, and the union has also decided to give British Rail just 4 days to pick the new date for paid talks. Otherwise, there will be a one-day strike next Tuesday, followed by tougher action. And again in Britain, more top-level talks on the miners' dispute. The TUC leaders are now at number 10 Downing Street at Prime Minister Mr. Heath's invitation. He wants to discuss their ideas for a settlement. This morning, a letter from the TUC giving an assurance that other unions would not jump on the bandwagon if the miners got special treatment. Meanwhile, the overtime ban is to be continued. In Italy, the oil minister of Saudi Arabia, who was quoted as saying in Rome today that there was no embargo on oil to Europe and that production had been increased to give the Arabs more oil than she had last September. Meanwhile, the foreign minister of Kuwait has announced that his government has planted explosives around the oil fields to blow them up at a moment's notice should anyone attempt to seize the wells by military attack. And finally, France. News of sharp increases in petrol prices. The government say that because of the higher international prices, all grades cost more. RNI weather! Well, some overnight rain is expected, together with temperatures slightly above normal, at around 4 degrees centigrade. Early morning we'll see heavy winds in many areas and temperatures at around 7 degrees. Later in the day, winds will decrease to moderate, coming from south to southwesterly directions. That's RNI News and Weather. The next summary in 1 hour.
British Radio International. Robin Banks.
RNI Mass Play.
And it's 10 minutes now past 10 o'clock on RNR on this Thursday night, the 10th of January 1974. Drawing very, very close to the weekend, thank goodness. And we had another one of those calm days out here on the Mebo today. And the crew, of course, out here took the opportunity to start pickaxing on the decks. They were out there with their pickaxes, churning up all the metal sheets out there. I don't know what they were doing, but certainly kept all the English disc jockeys awake once again, so I had about 3 hours sleep. Hence feeling rather tired and bleary-eyed at the moment. But I'm armed with a Peter Lennon cigar, which will keep the show going, no doubt. Roll on bad weather, that's all I can say. Then perhaps we'll have a bit of peace. New single now from Art Garfunkel, released in Holland, I think last week. This one's called I Shall Sing.